Diddy's private life has just been blown wide open as newly leaked footage from his exclusive parties surfaced, revealing disturbing activities that go beyond anything we've seen before. These aren't just Hollywood freak-offs. We're talking about ritual-like gatherings, substance-laced drinks, and allegations of forced encounters. The footage is sending shockwaves through Hollywood, and this is only scratching the surface of what really went down. Newly leaked footage sparks scandal. As you probably know, rumors of Diddy's wild parties have been around for years. But now, we're seeing actual footage from these events, and it's as disturbing as it is shocking. This leaked footage, dropped anonymously, shows guests engaging in strange, ritual-like behavior. And let's be real, this isn't just some celebrity after-party. The scenes captured have fueled allegations that Diddy's gatherings had more going on than anyone realized. The footage quickly went viral, sparking outrage on social media. Hollywood elites, who once praised Diddy's parties, are now facing serious scrutiny. With every new clip, the public's view of Diddy shifts, exposing an unsettling side to his persona that he'd rather keep hidden.
You knew children were there. You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual.
Allison Carter speaks out. Enter Allison Carter, a survivor of young and trafficking, whose statements have cast an even darker shadow over these parties. She recently came forward, describing Diddy's events as satanic ritual org. According to Carter, this was far beyond typical Hollywood excess. She insists that these parties weren't just about adults, there were child victims too. And she says she was one of them. Her words hit hard, exposing a brutal reality she says the industry tries to ignore.
People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bullshit.
Carter's testimony is gut-wrenching. She claims Diddy's parties had more than just A-list stars and music icons. They allegedly had young victims forced into horrifying situations. She's been fighting to bring her story forward, but as she says, many voices in power work hard to silence people like her. Suge Knight reveals industry secrets. And as if that's not enough, Suge Knight recently sat down with News Nation and had some words of his own about Diddy. Suge didn't hold back, claiming that Diddy's actions are just a symptom of a twisted industry. According to him, the music scene has a long history of toxic behavior, and Diddy's behavior is just the latest chapter in a messed up story that goes back decades.
They used to have these guys, they call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in.
Knight describes disturbing rituals young artists were forced to go through, especially something known as the egg test. Here's how he described it. Those guys pull their pants down and bend over. They stick an egg up their behind. If the egg breaks, they're told they're not ready and haven't put in enough work. According to Knight, this ritual was meant to humiliate and control newcomers, and it was one of many degrading initiations that artists had to endure in Hollywood. Knight continued, saying that Diddy was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. These practices, he claimed, weren't secrets. They were simply part of Hollywood's twisted initiation processes. In his own words, this has been going on in the industry for decades, and it shouldn't have to be true. Knight also suggested that Diddy's actions might come from his own painful experiences in the industry. When asked if Diddy could have been a victim of the same cycle, Knight replied, hurt people hurt people. Someone was SA'd, they wind up being a perpetrator. I think it was done to him. The white parties. Dark truths behind glamour. And it doesn't end there. More former staff and associates are speaking out, sharing dark stories about Diddy's infamous white parties. English, a former dancer at these parties, revealed details that paint an even grimmer picture. She worked as a dancer for Diddy in the early 2000s, and according to her, these gatherings were far from glamorous. English claims that substances and alcohol were everywhere, with some drinks allegedly spiked to lower the inhibitions of the guests. She even said that many people felt trapped, fearing their careers would be destroyed if they didn't comply. The whole setup was designed to control people, making them feel helpless in a world that thrives on secrets. The 1,000 bottles of baby oil. There's more than what meets the eye. But here's where things get even crazier. During the raid, authorities found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil in Diddy's home. Now, baby oil itself isn't illegal, but it's the way it was allegedly used that has people horrified. Jane Doe, a plaintiff in a recent lawsuit, claims this baby oil was laced with GHB, a drug commonly associated with Date R. Doe describes Diddy using this laced oil on partygoers, forcing them into altered states where they had no control. She claims the drug was absorbed through the skin, making it easier to control and exploit his guests. It's details like this that are sparking outrage online, as people question just how far these Hollywood parties have gone. Diddy's lawyer speaks on the baby oil. Now, with the discovery of 1,000 bottles of baby oil in Diddy's home, The defense has been quick to offer explanations, but it's only adding fuel to the fire. In a recent interview with TMZ, Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agafilo, tried to brush off the claims surrounding the oil, which authorities reported was found alongside lubricants and other supplies allegedly used for orchestrated freak-offs. According to prosecutors, these gatherings were anything but ordinary. They described them as elaborate and produced events, where victims were coerced into extreme acts lasting for days, many of which were reportedly filmed and later used as blackmail. The dismissive tone from Diddy's defense only raises more questions. Instead of clearing the air, these statements seem to deepen the suspicion surrounding the real purpose of Diddy's infamous freak-offs. Even Liam Payne feared Diddy's alleged rituals. And get this, the late Liam Payne once admitted he was straight up fearful of Diddy. In a clip from The Graham Norton Show, Liam talked about meeting Diddy, Jay-Z, and Leonardo DiCaprio all in one room. Now, Liam thought Diddy seemed approachable, but he was quickly proven wrong. As Liam shook his hand, Diddy let out what he described as the most evil laugh he'd ever heard.
P. Diddy. So I went out to shake his hand, and I shook his hand, and I was, oh, nice to meet you, and he's just going, with the longest handshake ever. And I'm like sat there just looking in P. Diddy's eyes like, when is this going to end?
Liam went on to call it the most daunting celebrity experience of his life. When Diddy, Jay-Z, and Leo are all in the same room, it's one thing. But that unsettling chuckle from Diddy, it left Liam with a whole different impression, and definitely some fear. Controlled substances and forced encounters. Now, this next part goes deeper than just wild partying. Many guests who attended Diddy's infamous gatherings were reportedly unaware of what they were really stepping into, finding themselves in situations that were not only uncomfortable, but downright dangerous. Former attendees described the sheer intensity of the scenes. Spiked drinks, tight security, and no easy way out. Take, for instance, British model Precious Muir, who was invited to one of Diddy's notorious white parties. At just 19, Precious was new to Manhattan and looking to network, as you'd expect any young model would. Invited by a VIP host, she was shuttled in with a busload of young, aspiring models. Once they arrived, they were greeted with trays of champagne. But for Precious, the party took a disturbing turn with her first sip. In a chilling recollection, she described feeling as though something was wrong almost immediately. Precious said, "Somebody had put something in a drink. I had an immediate reaction to one sip from the beverage." She claims she felt like she was having a stroke, with one side of her face going numb and losing control of her movements. Security stepped in, moving her to a safer spot, and even tried to help her drink water, but she recalls it just falling down the side of her face. A traumatizing experience that left her shaken long after the event. These aren't isolated stories. Numerous guests, both men and women, have come forward describing how they felt trapped in these parties. Usher too shared his memories of Diddy's parties. While he doesn't specify his involvement, Usher recalls seeing things he can't forget. He describes these gatherings as wild and curious, fueling speculation about what young artists like him may have gone through just to be a part of the industry.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
A-list attendees allegedly complicit, taking part in Diddy's rituals. Now, here's where things get really unsettling. It's not just Diddy caught up in these allegations. Some of Hollywood's biggest names have been pulled in as well. While Diddy is the main defendant, there are claims that several high-profile celebrities were at these parties, witnessing or even participating in the disturbing events. The question is, who was just there for the party, and who might have known exactly what was going on? Aaron Hall and allegations of assault. Let's start with R&B singer Aaron Hall, known for his time in The Group Guy. Hall's name came up in a lawsuit filed last year where a plaintiff, Liza Gardner, accuses both Hall and Diddy of coercing her into acts back when she was just 16. Even worse, Gardner claims Diddy later found her, allegedly choking her to keep her quiet. Hall's lawyer hasn't responded to these allegations, but it seems his role in Diddy's world might have gone way beyond just music. Harve Pierre, Bad Boy's own president. Next up is Harve Pierre, Diddy's first employee and former president of Bad Boy Records. Two anonymous plaintiffs have accused Pierre of exploiting his power and even assaulting them. In one case, a young woman claims Pierre forced her into acts after flying her out on a private jet. The accusations against Pierre hint that this might have been a deep-rooted issue within Diddy's circle, with Pierre allegedly playing a major role in enabling Diddy's darker side. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr., and yes, even Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. is caught up in this. Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer, claims Diddy him to pass him off to Gooding, who allegedly assaulted him on a yacht rented by Diddy. Gooding has previously pled guilty to a count of forcible touching, but his attorney has stayed quiet on these new claims. It's one thing to see Gooding as a Hollywood legend, but these allegations make you wonder how far his connections with Diddy's inner circle really went. Justin Dior Combs, Diddy's own son. And then there's Justin Dior Combs, Diddy's son. In Jones's complaint, Justin is accused of taking part in freak-offs and being present at some disturbing events. During a raid on Diddy's home, Justin was even handcuffed, though he wasn't arrested. His lawyer calls these allegations utterly bonkers, but with Diddy's own son allegedly tied to these parties, it raises questions about just how close Justin was to the activities his father is now infamous for. Jacob the Jeweler, and for another familiar name, Jacob Arabo, better known as Jacob the Jeweler. He's accused of taking part in Diddy's alleged rituals, with one plaintiff claiming Diddy ordered her to comply with Jacob's demands. This accusation paints a much darker picture of Arabo, who's been a staple in hip-hop culture for decades, with clients like Jay-Z and Madonna. Arabo denies the claims, but his connection here adds yet another high-profile name to the disturbing list, Young Miami's alleged involvement. And then we have Young Miami, one half of City Girls. While she isn't facing charges of misconduct, she's named in the complaint for allegedly bringing pink to Diddy's events. Jones's complaint also mentions her cousin allegedly assaulted him without his consent. While Young Miami hasn't responded publicly, her presence in these allegations has made fans wonder just how close she was to Diddy's inner circle beyond the public eye. Stevie J, Diddy's longtime collaborator. Then there's Grammy-winning producer Stevie J, who's been tight with Diddy for years. Jones's complaint alleges Stevie J was responsible for recruiting S-workers for Diddy's infamous parties. Stevie J has shrugged off the allegations, saying he's only ever seen Diddy as a businessman, but with Jones describing him as an enabler at these gatherings, it casts a shadow on their partnership that stretches back decades. Kalena Harper, formerly of Dirty Money. Kalena Harper, a former member of Diddy's group Dirty Money, isn't exempt either. In a separate complaint, another group member recounts Harper witnessing Diddy throwing a hot pan at his girlfriend and dragging her upstairs. While Harper hasn't confirmed or denied this incident, she acknowledges the accusations, yet stops short of fully corroborating the details. Harper's role in Diddy's orbit hints at the complicated dynamics inside his inner circle, Jimmy Iovine and Lucian Grange. And it's not just the performers, industry giants like Jimmy Iovine and Lucian Grange are being implicated too. Jones's lawsuit suggests that both Iovine and Grange, as top execs in the industry, turned a blind eye to Diddy's alleged behavior to keep the business deals going. Grange's attorney calls these claims false and argues that as CEO, Grange couldn't possibly manage every single detail in Diddy's agreements. Yet with these executives indirectly connected, it's clear this scandal is touching every corner of the music industry. With each big name added to the list, Diddy's alleged gatherings start looking more and more like a disturbing Hollywood secret that many may have witnessed, participated in, or simply chose to ignore. Intense physical toll on guests and IV fluids. These parties weren't your average late-night get-togethers. People are saying Diddy's gatherings went on for days, with guests so drained they reportedly needed IV fluids just to recover. Adult star Maitland Ward even weighed in on this, and let's just say her take is jaw-dropping. She told TMZ that these so-called freak-offs made even the wildest Hollywood parties look tame. According to Ward, hydration is one thing, but what Diddy's guests allegedly went through, that's next level. Ward hinted that IVs were likely needed, not just because of the physical toll, but from straight-up intoxication. And that paints a pretty intense picture. Even Ward, who's been around the scene, was taken aback by the reports. This wasn't just partying, it was days of nonstop madness, leaving everyone in need of serious recovery. Intensive investigation uncovers secrets. With Diddy's arrest and the charges stacking up, prosecutors have seized dozens of devices, from hard drives to laptops. Investigators are combing through these devices, and what they're finding is reportedly even darker than expected. They've got videos, photos, and messages that paint a picture of a man who used his wealth and power to control and exploit people around him. Witnesses, too, are coming forward, many of whom describe cult-like atmospheres and rituals that forced participants into traumatic situations. Diddy is now in custody, and prosecutors have voiced concerns over witness tampering, leading a judge to deny him bail. They argue that Diddy has both the means and the motivation to silence anyone with damaging information, and his past actions back up these fears. The public is watching closely, knowing that if these witnesses come forward, it could be game over for him. So with everything we've uncovered, it makes you wonder, just how deep do these allegations against Diddy really go? How many of these A-list names actually knew what was happening, and how many were complicit by staying silent? Are the feds about to expose even more disturbing secrets in Hollywood's elite circles? Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Is there more to this story we haven't seen yet? And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. And if you're intrigued by these revelations, you don't want to miss what's next. Click on the video right here to get a closer look at the black actors who frequented Diddy's parties and why the feds might be calling them to the stand soon.
8 wild videos that the FBI's been holding back are finally out, and they're exposing some of the biggest names in the rap game. Trust me, this isn't just a rumor. This is real, disturbing footage that's about to shake things up in ways you wouldn't expect. Who's on this list of rappers? And how far did these freak-offs actually go? Here's what we got. Let's talk Diddy, and more importantly, Diddy parties, since that is where all the shady stuff took place over these years. Diddy has been a pop culture legend since way back in the 90s. Diddy's known for going all out when it comes to partying, and he's built a reputation for throwing some of the most exclusive and over-the-top events in the entertainment world. In particular, Diddy was famous for his all-white parties, usually hosted in super fancy spots like the Hamptons. These events are packed with celebs and big names from different industries, giving off serious luxury vibes. If you're at one of these, you know you've made it. The whole thing adds to Diddy's larger-than-life image, setting a new standard for hip-hop party culture. You never know who you'll run into at Diddy's parties. Big names from music, movies, and even sports show up. Matt Helders from Arctic Monkeys even shared some funny stories about hanging out at Diddy's mansion, giving a peek into just how wild and casual these events can be. Diddy's parties have a rep for being wild, and sometimes things get a little out there. There's a story from a Paris party in 2007 where some crazy stuff went down, and it stuck with his party persona ever since. Even Tanzanian artist Diamond Platnumz hinted at some things that happened at Diddy's parties that are probably better left unsaid. It's clear these aren't your average get-togethers. Diddy didn't just throw wild parties, he changed the game. Promoter Jacob York said before Diddy came along, artists had to do full concerts to get paid. Now, just showing up to a party can be enough. This opened up a ton of new opportunities for artists to cash in on quick appearances. Lately, Diddy's party lifestyle has been caught up in some serious controversies. He's facing big allegations, including sexual misconduct and trafficking, which have brought a lot of attention to his past events. Recent legal issues are raising questions about Diddy's legacy and whether that lavish lifestyle is all it seems. So let's get into the list of creepy videos. First off, we got James from Simeon Mobile Disco. In the creepy video, we got Diddy, who's been running the hip-hop and R&B scene since the 90s, and James Ford, who's more known for his work in the UK's indie and alternative scenes. It's wild to think these two heavyweights ended up partying together, especially since they usually move in completely different circles. Now, we don't have much info about an official connection between Diddy and Ford. No collabs, no projects, nothing like that. But we do know that Diddy's no stranger to mixing it up with people from all corners of the music industry. And if he's in London, you already know he's gonna pull some strings and get in with some big names. It makes you wonder, what brought them together? Was it just a night of wild partying, or did something more go down behind the scenes? Either way, what we do know is that Diddy mentioned the party took place in London, which is basically James Ford's backyard. So, even though they're both from different worlds, Diddy holding it down in the US and Ford running things in the UK, they crossed paths in one of the most unexpected ways. Whatever the case, when you've got two music powerhouses in the same room, you can bet something interesting went down.
When he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
It's so unfortunate.
You gotta pull back though, so they can see. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look, would you
Get a drink on his head.
And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is a actual DJ's not supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to him. I put him to sleep.
Next day, right?
You put the drink on his head.
There you go. There it is.
Damn.
Well, that right there is how a white man goes through a party with Diddy. His words, not mine. What in the world happened to James? We will never know. As far as we know, Diddy may have laced his drink or forced him into drinking more. Who knows? Last few years and all the lawsuits have taught us that he's capable of anything. We got Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy. There's been some buzz lately about Diddy and Ellen DeGeneres, with old interview clips resurfacing and people speculating about her possible connection to Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. It's starting to raise questions about whether Ellen knew more than she let on. Back in 2009, Diddy was on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and Ellen asked, if she got an invite to his birthday party. Diddy joked that she's always invited but never shows up. Ellen, keeping it light, said she'd attend if it was on the West Coast, hinting that she might have heard about the wild nature of his East Coast parties. Things got even more interesting when Diddy mentioned his after parties, and Ellen casually mumbled, I know about those," making it seem like she was clued in on what really went down at these events.
Is that going to be a new thing? Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not going to let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your shoes, your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
Fast forward to today, and Diddy's facing some heavy accusations, including racketeering and sex trafficking. The charges revolve around his freak-offs, where people were allegedly forced into some pretty shady situations with male sex workers, and sometimes these parties lasted for days. Diddy even bragged in a 2007 interview about his meticulous lovemaking and how he could have tantric sex for 30 hours with his late partner Kim Porter. So his parties definitely had a certain reputation. Now folks are starting to wonder if Ellen knew about all of this. Her reaction in that 2009 interview is getting a lot of attention, especially since the whole party conversation was later cut out of the YouTube version of the interview. To make things even more suspicious, Ellen's close friendship with French Montana, who's got ties to Diddy, is only adding fuel to the fire. There's no concrete proof that Ellen was fully aware of what was happening at Diddy's parties, but with the resurfaced interview, the clip being edited, and Diddy's recent legal troubles, it's enough to get people talking.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time, you know.
The third in line is the suspicious interview that Diddy did with Entertainment Tonight back in 1999. Diddy's interview has recently resurfaced, and it's catching attention for its eerie connection to his current legal mess. What seemed like a casual chat back then now feels like an odd foreshadowing of what's happening today. In the interview, Diddy, still going by Puff Daddy at the time, was talking about his wild parties. He even made a joke that's now hitting way too close to home. Diddy said that his parties were so crazy, he might end up facing legal trouble one day. His exact words, "They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to party no more. I'm gonna be arrested by the time I'm like 50 for just having parties." Fast forward to September 2024, and here we are. At 54 years old, Diddy got arrested, and the charges are no joke. He's facing accusations of sex trafficking tied to the infamous parties, now being called freak-off events. Prosecutors claim these parties were more than just fun nights out and involved some serious criminal activity. Diddy has pleaded not guilty, but the case has people talking. The resurfaced interview has blown up on social media, with people calling it a weird coincidence, considering how close it aligns with what he's being accused of now. The irony of his old comment about getting arrested for partying has become a major talking point as everyone watches this case unfold. That 1999 clip has added an unexpected twist to the ongoing drama surrounding Diddy and his legal troubles. There's been some renewed interest in Diddy's 1999 interview on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, especially now with all the legal heat surrounding him. While this interview doesn't directly mention his freak-off parties, it's still raising eyebrows given what's come to light. In the interview, Conan asked Diddy how to throw a killer party, and Diddy's answer has people looking at it in a whole new way. He talked about the usual stuff, beautiful women and beautiful men for the ladies. But things got a little strange when he emphasized how important water is, saying women drink a lot of water at these parties, which seemed like an odd detail to focus on. Then he made a comment about having locks on the doors to keep people from leaving, which definitely took the conversation in a weird direction.
We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right, just
Plurals.
different blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
When Conan pointed out that the whole locks on the doors thing sounded a bit dangerous, Diddy laughed it off, calling it a little kinky. At the time, it probably came off as a joke, but now, with the recent sex trafficking allegations hanging over him, those words are hitting differently.
It's a little kinky, but you know, rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Even though this interview doesn't touch on the freak-off parties that have been mentioned in the current charges against Diddy, it's still adding fuel to the fire. People are looking back at his old interviews and seeing them in a much darker light. What seemed like harmless comments back then now feels like an unsettling foreshadowing of the serious accusations he's facing today. In a 2016 interview with Howard Stern, Usher opened up about his experience at the infamous Puffy Flavor Camp, where he lived with Diddy at just 13 years old. The arrangement set up by L.A. Reid was meant to immerse Usher in the music industry lifestyle, but the experience was far from ordinary.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Usher described the time as pretty wild and admitted to seeing some curious things that were way beyond his understanding at such a young age. Surrounded by music legends like Biggie Smalls, Lil' Kim, and Mary J. Blige, Usher got an inside look at the flashy and chaotic world that Diddy was known for. But while the lifestyle may have seemed glamorous, Usher was quick to clarify that he was there to work, not party. This interview has taken on a whole new meaning in light of Diddy's current legal troubles. Usher's vague references to the wild scenes he witnessed are now being reevaluated as people try to connect the dots between his past experiences and the serious allegations against Diddy today. When asked whether he'd ever send his own kids to something like Puffy Flavor Camp, Usher didn't hesitate. Hell no. That blunt response says a lot about how he looks back on that time, seeing it now as something completely inappropriate for a kid his age. The resurfaced interview shines a light on what was really going on in Diddy's orbit back in the 90s, and raises questions about the blurred lines between business and personal indulgence in the music industry. And we got to Justin Bieber. 2 videos featuring Justin Bieber and Diddy have resurfaced and gained attention due to their unsettling nature in light of recent allegations against Diddy. The first video, the 48 Hours one, shows Diddy with a 15-year-old Justin Bieber. The creepy part was when Diddy stated he had custody of Bieber for 48 hours. What the hell does that mean?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
I mean, Diddy just says a whole bunch of weird and creepy things. From where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, to it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You name it. Don't get it twisted. Justin appears extremely uncomfortable, and the most that he would say is stuff like, yeah, not a good look. Many viewers have described the video as creepy and disturbing. From JB's early days, we got to see the concern about the power dynamic between the adult Diddy and teenage Bieber. The resurfaced video has gained new significance due to recent sex trafficking charges against Diddy. Young artists are now in the spotlight for all the stuff that they had to go through, most of which we don't even know a single thing about. And then, there's episode 2, basically, where Diddy creepily asks Justin why he didn't call him back since the last time they hung out.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
I'm gonna
tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 55.
These videos, especially when viewed in the context of current allegations against Diddy, have raised concerns about the nature of Diddy's relationships with young artists and the potential exploitation in the music industry. The public reaction has been largely negative, with many expressing retroactive concern for Bieber's welfare at the time. Fabulous last, but not least, we got Fabulous, who was so cringed out by Diddy that he's still shaking. I mean, this video is just painful to watch. That episode of Drink Champs featuring Diddy and Fabulous has sparked quite a bit of chatter, especially given the current buzz around Diddy. In this episode, Diddy stepped in as a special co-host while DJ EFN was away, joining Fabulous and Jadakiss for what was supposed to be a fun conversation about hip-hop. However, things took a turn when Diddy's behavior made everyone a bit uncomfortable. He dropped some controversial remarks that had folks raising their eyebrows. At one point, he even called the host Daddy, which definitely struck people as unusual and maybe even inappropriate.
That one?
It's your birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink Champs, goddammit. I'm in.
Where I look back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because it seems like a thing.
I miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
folks, man.
But I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
Fabulous had his own story to share from one of Diddy's infamous parties. He revealed that he actually used the excuse of needing to hit the bathroom to sneak out early. To his shock, when he tried to leave, it was already 7 a.m., and Diddy was still going strong with the party. Overall, the vibe of the episode turned into a bit of a spectacle, with many suggesting that Diddy was hella wasted during the whole thing, dubbing it a drunken interview. Given the serious allegations now surrounding Diddy, this episode has taken on new significance. The uncomfortable moments and Diddy's odd behavior are now being viewed through the lens of his recent legal troubles, adding a layer of discomfort to what was meant to be a lighthearted celebration of hip-hop. While the episode was intended to highlight music and camaraderie, Diddy's antics ended up overshadowing the conversation, leaving a strange atmosphere for everyone involved. This incident fits into a broader narrative about Diddy's party lifestyle and conduct in social settings, raising eyebrows and concerns among fans and critics alike. It's clear that Diddy's party scene has sparked a lot of conversation, and there are plenty of notable mentions beyond what we've covered. For instance, the bizarre video featuring Meek Mill has also caught attention, adding another layer to the narrative surrounding Diddy's gatherings. With all these revelations and discussions, it's evident that the story of Diddy and his infamous parties is far from over.
That federal indictment against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was just unsealed, and it lays out multiple charges against him, including racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, Combs was arrested overnight by federal agents at a Manhattan hotel. He will appear in court this morning.
I am in Miami right now for the Winter Music Conference, people. Yes, the party has begun. If you're not on your way down here, get on your way down here. If you're on your way down here, I will be here waiting for you. I have a special party announcement. Okay?
Behind the lavish parties, luxury homes, and million-dollar smiles, Diddy's empire isn't what it seems. His public persona was crafted as the ultimate music mogul, untouchable, powerful, and influential. But under the surface, there's something much darker. The allegations and discoveries from inside his mansion reveal a life that's far from glamorous. It's been described as a world full of secrets, manipulation, and control. Now, the walls are closing in. Diddy's indictment has been made public, and federal investigators are unearthing more about his freakish parties, coded activities, and carefully protected circle. The people who surrounded him, the ones who benefited from his success, fame, and fortune, are now at risk. The truth is starting to come out, and everyone involved may be dragged down with him. From rappers to CEOs, nobody is safe.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time, you know.
Remember that wild clip of Diddy and Rick Ross washing cars, all slippery and soapy? Rose was shirtless, and Diddy was right behind him, looking way too comfortable. At the time, people laughed it off. But with Diddy's name now tied to some serious allegations, folks are looking back at that clip with suspicion. We're talking about a man who's been accused of throwing freak-off parties where nothing is off limits.
Like the slippery soap. Yo, I actually washed the car because I'm supporting my brother. I'm not just buying slippery soap. I'm actually using it myself. So, yo, just stay tuned to see Diddy and Rose wash a car. You never know
Diddy got on Carisha roof of the truck. He made it happen. I'm proud of you.
Only for slippery soap.
That's right.
Rose's ex, Tia Kemp, already stirred the pot by calling him out, accusing him of hanging around shady circles. She hinted at some questionable behavior involving Diddy, implying that Rick might be deeper in Diddy's mess than we know. Allegations have flown about their late-night hangouts, and with Diddy now under federal scrutiny, the soap isn't the only thing that's slippery about this situation.
You done had too many parties. Potty pussy. We call you potty pussy. All your friends was there who you talk about, especially that one of that little Let me tell the world what you say about him, how he get to find the cars and the what his name is, 57 Freddy. I saw you on there. He talk about you so much. Boy, he said he had to get them niggas off your back, them Chicos. Is it true? Just sitting and popos about shit. I had to go. Here we get the fuck out of there. They was sending a sheriff from my mama house all the way in a whole nother county. Man, what the crime I did? You police ass nigga. Retire the badges and just, I'm not a rapper. Don't beef with me. It's best to unblock me on your cell phones and your Instagram and let me look at your jetty jets too, like all the millions of billions of trillions of people do. What the you block me for? I ain't no biases. I want to see the jetty jet too. Nigga, the pretty Louis shoes. Them niggas over there screaming up that you like to have them do what their bunny is. Hey, Kano, you was at the party too? Hey, Kane. I ain't talking about Kano. Kano is the one stole the Will Cuban link. It's a difference.
Let's not forget the controversy Rick Ross found himself in back in 2013 with that line in Rocco's track, UOENO. He casually rapped, "Put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home, and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it." The backlash was immediate. People accused Ross of promoting rape culture, and it nearly cost him his career. Though Rose apologized on Twitter saying, "I don't condone R. Apologies for a lyric interpreted as rape. The damage was done." Nayo has long been labeled Diddy Jr. by the industry. While this title once carried a sense of pride, it now looks more like a death sentence. Diddy's influence on Nayo's career is undeniable, but being linked to him could destroy everything Nayo has built. The deeper the investigation goes, the more people are wondering just how close Nayo was to Diddy's world of secrets. Could Nayo have witnessed the dark side of Diddy's empire? Worse, could he have been involved? As the narrative shifts, Nayo's career might never recover from the shadow of being Diddy's protege. There's also a clip going around of Nayo's baby mama calling him Diddy Jr. and accusing him of taking part in the alleged freak-offs.
Tell them about the freak-off, Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr., tell them about the freak-off. Tell them about the freak-off. Tell them the truth. Tell these people the truth. Oh, shut the fuck up. You don't give a fuck about none of these kids. Do y'all see a fucking picture in this house of a fucking kid? He don't care about these kids. All he care about is doing drugs, drinking alcohol, fucking these hoes. That's what you care about. So let's go. I'm a Diddy bop the fuck up out of here. You and your freak off. You can get back to your freak off in a minute. You'll be next. You'll be next. You'll be next. You'll be next. Your stories will be coming out next.
YK Osiris. His name has been floating around for a minute. Rumors started swirling about a luxurious vacation he allegedly went on that was paid for by Diddy. Diddy doesn't just throw money around for fun. Every dollar comes with a string attached. So, was this vacation a thank you for something more? It's hard not to speculate.
He said he was Diddy's boy toy. Yeah, I was in Jamaica with him.
Oh, I see it now.
See? I was in Jamaica
Osiris
with
in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy.
See? Yeah.
Was you in Jamaica with Diddy though?
He said yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
I was with a shawty.
All right, but Diddy was there.
No, he was a whole other different.
Oh, so they just made this up?
Yeah, they made it up, yeah.
YK's career has had some ups and downs, but this rumor's got people side-eyeing every move he makes. With all the accusations flying, no one's taking anything at face value anymore. Ellen DeGeneres is another Hollywood powerhouse whose reputation has been questioned in recent years. Her connection to Diddy is well known. She's attended his parties, appeared on his shows, and maintained a close relationship with the mogul. But as more details of Diddy's behavior surface, Ellen's involvement in his world seems darker.
Is that going to be a new thing? Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not going to let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your shoes, your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
Ellen's brand took a hit after stories of her toxic work environment emerged. Could the allegations against Diddy be the final nail in her reputation's coffin? If Ellen had knowledge of Diddy's twisted lifestyle, her silence could speak louder than any apology. Then we have Brycer Gray, aka Hakeem from Empire. He was on top of the world for a hot minute, but his career seemed to fall apart overnight. Word on the street is that Brycer might have gotten mixed up in one of Diddy's infamous freak-offs. If you're not down for whatever goes down at those parties, your career might not survive the aftermath.
Now I have to ask you a little bit about when you made your comments about Brycer Gray. And now we see that, you know, shit, man. Just what are your thoughts?
If I run into you in public, and when I say Andy, I'm talking about Bashir's mom, I'ma kick you in your and then I'ma go to work North Philly style, bitch. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy?
Brycer's fall from grace was fast and quiet, almost too quiet. It's got people wondering, was he blacklisted for refusing to play along? With Diddy now behind bars and tapes allegedly showing all kinds of dirt, this theory doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. Lucian Grange is the man behind some of the biggest names in music, including Justin Bieber and of course Diddy. But Lucian's involvement with Diddy isn't just about business, it's about power. For years, Lucian helped shield Diddy from the darker side of fame, using his position to protect one of his biggest moneymakers. There are rumors that recordings of Lucian Grange in these freak-off parties were found in Diddy's mansion. That would explain why he's always been protective of him. But Lucian's influence is now being questioned. As Diddy's secrets unravel, people are starting to ask how much Lucian knew and what he did to keep those secrets buried. Could Lucian's empire be next to fall as investigators dig deeper? Meek Mill has been trending ever since Diddy's arrest, and not for the reasons you might think. That infamous video of Meek in the pool, calling Diddy daddy and saying he loved him. Back then, it seemed like harmless fun. Now that clip is looking real suspect. Meek has been laying low, like real low. He's been chilling in Africa, riding dirt bikes and tweeting cryptic messages, all while acting like he doesn't know what's going on. But people are starting to wonder, did Meek get caught up in the footage the feds found? His silence is getting louder by the day, and the more he tries to act oblivious, the more folks are convinced something's up. Let's talk about Usher. The man's been thriving with his Vegas residency, but there's some history here that's resurfacing in a big way. When Usher was just 13, he was part of Diddy's flavor camp, and Usher's even admitted in interviews that, as a parent now, he'd never send his own youngin' to that camp. That's got people asking some serious questions. The whispers around Usher and Diddy have been around for years, but things really started heating up when Usher recently scrubbed his Twitter clean of any Diddy-related content. Then, there's that infamous moment when Diddy told Kevin Hart he woke up in bed with Usher, which everyone laughed off at the time. People are looking back at that comment with new eyes, and Usher's quiet social media purge is only adding fuel to the fire.
Don't sit on the bed at night, no homo, no, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close, but it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did.
No, I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented.
Justin Bieber owes much of his early success to Diddy's influence, but their relationship is now becoming a liability. Bieber's clean-cut image has been one of his biggest assets, but being linked to Diddy could tarnish that forever. As more of Diddy's shady activities come to light, people are starting to wonder what Bieber saw and what he may have been a part of. The squeaky clean image Bieber and his team have fought to protect is now hanging by a thread. If any connection between Bieber and Diddy's darker side comes out, it could destroy the pop star's carefully managed career. Rumor has it that Jay-Z might have been tangled up in Diddy's freak-offs too. Now, these two have been tight for years, with Diddy even throwing a billionaire party for Jay-Z. But whispers about their relationship are growing louder. Kathy White, Jay's alleged mistress who was found dead after reportedly becoming pregnant by him. Some folks are speculating that Diddy knows what really went down, maybe even recorded something. If the FBI tapes have any evidence linking Jay-Z to these freak-offs, it's gonna shake the entire industry. A fall from grace for someone as powerful as Jay-Z, and the world ain't ready for that. Kevin Hart is one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. His name carries weight, and his comedic charm has made him a household name. But Kevin's long-standing relationship with Diddy now raises questions. How much did Kevin know about the darker side of Diddy's life?
If you're around this group of people, you're not motivated by what you see, I'm going to call you what I like to call a person that is just, you're a loser. Losers like to lose, winners win. Winners win because they surround themselves with winners. I'll be damned if I'm not around a bunch of fucking winners. Look around you, goddamn it, and be inspired, be motivated, and ask yourself, do you want it? Because if you do, you get in rooms like this.
Hart has been spotted at Diddy's parties and events, enjoying the wealth and power that comes with those connections. But Kevin has remained eerily silent as the allegations pile up. Could it be that Hart is trying to distance himself from a man whose downfall could jeopardize his own empire? A clip of him in one of the parties surfaced. He was part of the billionaire's toast, which the rich and famous attended. It was hosted by the main man, Diddy. Before Nicki Minaj blew up, Diddy was her manager. According to some wild rumors, he allegedly tried to bring her into his freak-off sessions. But Nicki, she wasn't having it. She shut it down fast. But things got messy again when she started dating Meek Mill, Some say Meek might have pushed Nicki right back into Diddy's world, against her will. That's some foul stuff. And if true, it's no wonder Nicki's been distancing herself from certain circles.
I vowed from that age, no man would ever abuse me, call me out my name, treat me like that. And then all of a sudden, that was my life.
Nicki's even hinted in interviews that there are some undercover brothers in the industry, and people are starting to connect the dots. With all this noise around Diddy, it's hard not to see some truth in what she's been saying.
Do you think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no. We don't know about that.
Okay.
One of the weirdest moments in Diddy's history is when he and French Montana were caught on camera, covered in baby oil, while Diddy sang happy birthday to him. It seemed like some goofy, over-the-top party antics. With the FBI raiding Diddy's house and finding 1,000 bottles of baby oil, it brings a whole different perspective right now. French and Diddy had something going on given the patterns we've seen with Diddy's relationships. French has always played the role of Diddy's protege, but there might have been something deeper at play. Khloe Kardashian has kept a lower profile than her sister Kim, but her connection to Diddy, through family ties and shared circles, can't be ignored. Khloe has been spotted at Diddy's events, and her name has been loosely connected to his circle for years. Now, as the walls close in on Diddy, Khloe's association with the scandal could put her in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far so good. French Montana. Do you even know half the people you're naming? No. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet. You haven't? I want to be Clay when I grow up, Court. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. About this party. I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
And there's even a clip of Khloe talking about attending a party where everyone was butt naked. That's the exact MO of Diddy's parties. Being linked to Diddy's crumbling empire could leave Khloe fighting to maintain her reputation, even if she wasn't directly involved in the scandal itself. The Game admitted to running with Diddy for a while before eventually signing with Dr. Dre instead. So why didn't he stick with Bad Boy? There's been a lot of speculation about what might have happened between him and Diddy behind closed doors in those alleged freak-off parties.
Wasn't Puffy interested in working with you also?
Yeah, Puff. I was running around with Puff for a minute, but we was just partying, man. Puff liked to party. So that's basically all we did. I think the few times I was running around with D-Mac and Puff, we just did a bunch of partying. We might have went to the studio once or twice, but I didn't get to record nothing. I was just, you know.
The Game has even spoken out about the presence of gay rappers in the industry, and now people are starting to think he might have been talking about Diddy all along. Maybe he's speaking up after footage of him in the freak-off parties was found by the feds during the raid.
And so that in the closet shit is real scary, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get into the seriousness of it, and it's just not fair to, other people. And then that shit spreads because that girl that you might be fooling might leave you and go find another dude who ain't gay, give him the disease, and he cheats on her. And so it's it's an ongoing thing, man. So it ain't cool to be in the closet. So if you gay, just say you gay, man. Be gay and be proud, man.
Do you think that you've done songs with gay rappers? And who are not obviously in the closet?
Possibly.
Yeah?
Oh, when you say who not in the closet?
Who is in the closet? Possibly,
man.
Yeah. Possibly. So you think that you've worked with a gay rapper?
Yeah, man. And gay, not being just full out gay, but hiding it, trying to pretend like he, loves girls and live the rap lifestyle, but really, he's a man fan.
Kim Kardashian has always been strategic about her associations, but being linked to Diddy could become her biggest mistake. As more of Diddy's secrets are exposed, questions arise about just how much Kim knew. Did she attend those notorious parties? And was she involved in any way? Kim's entire brand is built on a public image of power and control. But what happens when that image is tied to someone whose name is becoming synonymous with scandal and destruction? There's a growing fear that her association with Diddy might become the Achilles heel of the Kardashian empire. Kris Jenner is the ultimate puppet master, pulling the strings behind her family's fame. But even Kris can't control the storm Diddy's facing. Kris has long been connected to the elite Hollywood circles he dominates. If Diddy goes down, Chris might not be far behind. Speculation is already mounting. Did Chris use her influence to protect Diddy? Or worse, was she complicit in covering up his behavior? Known for his brash attitude and no-holds-barred approach to the game, Soulja's recent revelations are painting a chilling picture of what might have transpired behind closed doors. In a shocking tweet that sent ripples through the industry, Soulja Boy didn't just hint at Diddy's alleged misdeeds, he put them on blast for the world to see. If Diddy ever tried me like any of these gay rappers, I would have killed his BA. The timing of Soulja's outburst is raising eyebrows. Soulja Boy's involvement in this alleged freak-offs adds another layer of complexity to an already twisted narrative. Was he a victim, a willing participant, or something in between? Whispers are growing louder about more tapes, not just one, but multiple recordings of Soulja with Diddy himself. If the feds leak these tapes, Soulja's tough guy image could crumble overnight. His desperate tweet might be a last-ditch effort to get ahead of a storm he knows is coming.
Yeah, we just gonna take y'all around the room for a second.
He's been spotted at those infamous Diddy parties, the same parties where lines blur and secrets are made. He's been in the lion's den, and who knows what went down when the cameras stopped rolling. Orlando Brown. He's been making some wild claims about Diddy for years, but people dismissed him, chalking it up to his erratic behavior. With all this coming out, Orlando's stories are starting to make more sense. He's been consistent in accusing Diddy of some dark stuff, and people are finally starting to take him seriously.
I got in my Diddy mode. I'm sorry, I started licking my lip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshka screw smash. You gave me the ooshka smooth off, the smooth smash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You know what I mean?
Ever since Diddy's arrest, a bunch of high-profile executives have stepped down from their positions within 24 hours. Kevin Liles, Eric Pryor, Jonathan Holloway, all gone in a flash. The timing is just too convenient. People are starting to ask the big question, were these execs involved in Diddy's freak-offs? Or did they see the storm coming and decide to bail before the truth comes to light? Their sudden departures are raising major red flags. How many more will fall before this is all over? So where does this all go from here? Diddy's locked up, but the investigation is far from over. Every day more dirt is coming out. More tapes, more witnesses, more names. But I want to know what you think in all this. Which A-list celebrities do you believe might be exposed in these leaked videos? How deep do you think this freak-off rabbit hole goes? And who else might be implicated? Do you think the FBI is sitting on even more explosive footage, waiting for the right moment to drop it? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're hooked on this kind of explosive, behind-the-scenes celebrity dirt, don't forget to smash that like button and slam subscribe. We're always on the hunt for the latest and most shocking Hollywood scandals.